BAUHAUS-galan, the latest stop on the Wanda Diamond League Tour. We've got 8 athletes coming up between now and around about 2 o'clock for press conference in this area here, and then for selected one-to-ones in the back area behind me. First 2 athletes will be with us quite shortly, Kendricks and Mondo Duplantis. Before that, though, meeting director Jan Kowalski.
Thank you for the word. And welcome everyone to here for this press conference. I would like to start to do some announcement, and first of all, of course, we are very and incredible happy to have got the chance to stage this one-day meeting in Stockholm tomorrow. With the situation we had in March, April, it didn't look so good, but in the end, when the Swedish authority, and thanks to them and the Swedish government, opened up for an exception from the typical recommendation and guidelines, we were able to stage a meeting for professional athletes, and this has made us giving the chance to really do it tomorrow. And we did also put a high sort of goal, having real and full start fields in a number of events, and it ended up in 17 events, disciplines to be staged tomorrow. And also many thanks to, of course, the title sponsor Bauhaus, who prolonged their contract with us and this gala for another 5 years. And also without the 3 new main sponsors that has been entering during the spring and summer, made it possible to stage this. And these are Prioritet Finans, One Partner Group, and also the Sundströms Safety. So thanks for them, we are able to get a lot of athletes from all around the world, and then we should also thank the cooperation with the sanctioning body, World Athletics, and together with the new title sponsor for Diamond League, Wanda Group. They have been putting in extra financial support to make this happen. Tomorrow we will stage the meeting with no spectators, because we are not allowed to do that in Sweden for any events. So it will be, in that sense, empty seats, but we have prepared to put something in the seats. And we have those printed spectators, so you will see them around the stadium tomorrow. And I think that could give a little better visual sight of the stadium. We also have been innovative together with World Athletics, and you saw that first glance in Monaco, where they have this enhanced audio atmosphere in the stadium. So we will have one technology developed for putting some extra voice into the stadium during the meeting. So we hope that that will trigger the athletes during the competition. So they will have some music and voice really supporting them in the stadium, so they get the feeling of the sound that they normally are used to. And we also hope that it will help the TV audience to get a better emotional feeling for the meeting. In addition to that, we also set up a very small but fan club on the spectator seat. Around 10 of them will be a mini fan club supporters at the spectator seat to distribute sort of emotions from how it feels in the stadium. So we hope that that can help the TV audience to really get the feeling for what is going on in the stadium. With no spectators, that of course means a lot financially. We do an opportunity loss around 400,000 to 500,000 euro. And that we have to live with, but thanks for all partners making it happen, even with this opportunity loss. Then we also have seen, since Monaco opened up and the meeting directors of Monaco were able to bring so many athletes from worldwide outside Europe, it went to a really good start. We saw a world record there, and we have managed to keep most of these athletes that were competing down in Monaco also coming to Stockholm. So we have in total about athletes from about 35 countries and 4 continents represented on Sunday tomorrow at the meeting. And IMG has done a tremendous job with the international TV sales, so this meeting will be broadcast in more than 120 countries. So we hope that this meeting will have a good spread. And maybe the most challenging country to get athletes from is our neighbor to the west of Sweden, the Norwegians. But they have showed they are very innovative, and we know this gentleman, Karsten Warholm, he brought himself with this car special built for him to come to Stockholm. So he come with his motorhome, sort of house car, and he stayed there during 4 days in Stockholm, very close to the Olympic Stadium. So we thank him for his innovative, creative thinking, and he is really here to do something extra special. With these words, I want to thank you so much and welcome to BAUHAUS-galan.
Jan, thank you very much indeed for those words. Jan mentioned the enhanced crowd noise, which is one of the innovations that's going to be used at Stockholm. It was used in Monaco, and I think it's going to Brussels as well. There is one other innovation that's being experimented with in the field events. The long jump competition for men and women will have what's called the final 3. So 5 rounds of standard jumping, and then the top 3 athletes get 1 further jump in what effectively is round 6. It's called the final 3. That's sudden death, winner takes all. And if you want to ask questions about that, I'm delighted to say that Alan Blondell has joined us. And after the first interviews with Sam and Mondo, Alan will be available to take your one-on-one questions on that final 3 experiment. Thank you very much. So we'll wait our first athletes. Thank you, Jan. Well, welcome, gentlemen. Great to see you here. They don't really need any introduction, but I've taken the time to write a few words, so I might as well read them to you. Sam and Mondo, welcome to the BAUHAUS-galan. Sam Kendricks, of course, 2 times the world champion, the Olympic bronze medalist, competed in the Inspiration Games versus a couple of opponents who were in different stadiums, which was, again, a new innovation for this crazy, crazy year. Was to compete in Monaco, but unfortunately no poles, so no competition, but did get back to winning ways with 581 in Leverkusen, I think it was, the other day. Mondo, of course, the current world record holder with 618 set in Glasgow at the World Indoor Tour. I'm forever thankful for his performance there, because at that very point in time the gun had broken. And there was no chance of the gun being fixed for about 10 minutes. Luckily, we had this fine gentleman here who just popped over 618, and we had some applause in the stadium for a few minutes, which got over that little hillock, so thank you for that. Reigning European champion, of course, and world silver medalist, was competing and won in Monaco after an epic journey was conducted by his mother, aunt and friend to get the poles there. And for those of you outside of Sweden, I'm sure you'll be delighted to know that he's also the current holder of the Victoria Prize, which is for sporting achievement and presented every year since 1979 by Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden. So many congratulations on that too. It's wonderful to see you here. It's wonderful to see live sport back again. But I suppose opening question is, you know, how are you in this crazy period, this COVID pandemic period? How's it been for you? How have you survived? What have you done differently, if anything? And just basically, what is your general demeanour going into the competition?
Oh, for me or for mine?
Yeah, you can.
Well, all right. You know, you as an American traveling and competing in Europe, you make so many friends the 6 months out of the year that you're dedicating to traveling the road, whether it be indoor season or outdoor season. So when I can't make it across the pond, that's the biggest impact on me, is I don't get to see all of these friends that I've invested years in making and competing with and seeing on this road. And that was a great loss felt by me. I live in a small town, so all of this craziness was felt more slowly. We were slow to get into it and slow to get out of it, of course. But it was quite, I'll say, nice to be at home for some time in the summer months. I even came to Europe a little bit more tan. But I'm certainly glad to get back to what I was, I believe, born and bred for, is competing in the sunlight with my good friends in places like Stockholm, Sweden. So it's fun to be here, and I'm glad that the people here are receiving us well.
Sam, thank you. It's great to have you here, of course. Mondo, similar question to you. I mean, you had this extraordinary start to the year with your indoor events, and then, of course, nothing for months. That must have affected you. I mean, were you cross at that point, or were you just simply disappointed? How were you feeling then, and how have you got over that feeling?
Yeah, no, but it wasn't something that really happened to where it was like world record and then the next day no season. It was like there's 2 weeks in March of like every day it was slowly becoming reality that not much was going to happen for the rest of the year, or it didn't seem like, you know, the big competitions like the European Championships, Olympics were going to happen at least. So it was kind of something I was adjusting to in the moment, and no, I took it okay. I mean, of course, I would have loved to compete in the big meets because I felt like I was jumping really well, of course. But it was nice. It was a nice time. My 2 older brothers that I don't see as much anymore, they got to come back down to Lafayette, Louisiana, where we're all from, and we got to spend a lot of good time together as a family that we don't get to do as much since, you know, I have a little more hectic schedule, everybody else too, and so, you know, in some ways it was nice. Got to spend some time with my family, got to, you know, pick up some new hobbies like golf and stuff like that, and something to you know, spend the times doing. But so yeah, I mean, of course, I love to compete, and I would have loved to have normal competitions, but you know, I think I got into a nice, you know, mindset and took it as a nice little off season, but definitely glad to be here and get back to some competitions, get back on the track with Sam, because I missed that for sure.
Does it feel like normality has returned? Because certainly, you know, we go into this period of lockdown, then we venture out. You certainly ventured out into some quite weird and wonderful competitions. That must have been quite a strange experience.
The idea of how can we share our sport in more ways than just on the track in front of a crowd of several thousand is not a new one. It's not a new one, but it's never been put in such practice until, and I'm eyeing the IAAF and World Athletics team in front of me for helping produce such events. It's never been needed or requested as much as it was when everybody said, I've got nothing to distract me. I've got no sports to see. I've got nothing to connect me to what I love to see each and every year. So it was a simple call from Renaud Levchenko to each me and Mondo for this first garden class challenge that we put on. And it was fun to stretch our legs. You know, I've come off of World Championships with Mondo being my vice champion, and then taking a back seat is watching him break those 2 world records in the indoor season. I say, man, it's almost a shame to just let it all fizzle, even in this uncertain time. So let's do something. However tough it may be, however many emails have to go out, however many long Skype calls or data transfers we have to do, let's find a way to share our sport again. And so it was fun. And it led us back to here because it was successful, but it wasn't all the way the same soul of the sport. We want to get back to it. So that's why we're here in Stockholm.
And it does promise to be a great competition. And the very fact that you're in your home city, you've got, you know, some of your best mates, it all promises to be quite a decent competition, does it not? Yeah,
and I think every time, you know, me and Sam step out on the track, special things happen. And, you know, we have a lot of other great competitors beside us that are going to, you know, push us to some good heights. So, I mean, it's a little tougher, of course, when you go out there and there's not those fans to cheer you on and, you know, really give you that adrenaline rush when you're starting to get tired later in the competition. But we got a good group of guys out there, and we're all competitors. So I think that's all we really need. And yeah, when we're beside each other, we're gonna make some things happen.
Well, I certainly hope so. And if we get another gun malfunction, I'll just give you a shout.
Let me know.
Just pop over 620. That would be tremendous.
Yeah, try.
Questions from the floor, Michelle.
Mondo, last Monaco, you said you had to think about something special to say thank you to your mum and aunt and friend. Have you thought of anything yet to say thanks for driving 50 hours in total?
Well, they kind of went into hibernation for like 3 days after. I didn't see my mom much. She was just in her bed, and then she just slept. And same with my aunt and my mom's friend Anna. But I got them dinner when we got back. It's probably not enough, but
Never enough.
It's
That's the whole
something.
point.
Yeah, it's probably not enough, but I'm getting there. You know, I'm trying to make it up to them day by day. Yeah.
Any other from the floor, or are we ready for... Yes, sir.
Mondo, is there any one adjustment you'd like to make for Monaco?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'd like a lot more first attempt makes. You know, I put myself into a bind too early. You know, having to get to last attempt at 572 is just something position that I never want to be in. And then, you know, 6 meters was great, but, you know, having to pull it out on the last attempt was something also I didn't want to have to do. So trying to, you know, just be a little more consistent when I'm jumping in and try to get some first attempt makes, because, you know, I know that when I'm lining up against Sam and stuff like that, those little tiny mistakes, especially early at those lower heights, will really cost you, and it can cost you a win. So that's probably the main focus for Stockholm tomorrow.
I have a question.
Yeah. By all means.
So Mondo, you've now got 2 competitions in a row. You're Swedish national champion once again. Not once again?
I never won it.
You never won it?
No.
Oh, so this is your first time.
First national championship.
Tell me what it feels like to be national champion and then have so many back-to-back events in Sweden, because I want to come back here and compete more and more.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's truly surreal. It's truly surreal. But no, it's great. I've competed in, I think, 4 competitions or so here already this summer in Sweden, and it's been you can't beat it. You can't beat it here. It's one of the best places there is to jump, and love to have you back.
And a follow-up question: I've heard rumblings in the Ethereum that the former world record holder has put it upon your shoulders to conduct the next Pole Vault Stars meeting. Perhaps you will tax your agent staff to think about that. Have you picked a city, perhaps, next year?
I'd like making my own All-Star Pass.
Yeah, making your own All-Star Pers, or whatever the translation would be in Swedish.
Yeah, I have to figure out a name.
Stadhop?
Yeah.
Allstara?
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Something that flows well.
Would that be something you would have fun doing?
No, we've been thinking about it.
Okay.
I can't promise next year, but it for sure will happen.
Okay.
That's a promise.
You know,
city-wise, I don't know. Whoever wants it the most, I guess.
whoever wants it the most. I like. All right, all the cities of Sweden are going to have to bid for it, I think.
Following up from that, because your facility back home is certified, right?
It's certified, but it must, like all surfaces, be recertified every year. So, well, if you want to come utilize, you know what my dad...
It's far to go to Oxford for a lot of people. Yeah.
And I'm not the world record holder, so I'm not the all-star. But I think you know the limitations of my facility, Michelle, more than anybody. No, it's the country. It's the country.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a pretty backdrop, though.
Yeah, it is nice. It's cool.
Well, that's a good question. And as Mondo and I are almost on a different stage than so much more of athletics. Everybody here competing at BAUHAUS-galan is the top of the heap, the tip of the pyramid for athletics. You know, we got the invitation, and this year lacking a championship is not necessarily going to affect the newly minted world record holder or the reigning world champion so much as it's going to affect the next generation. And I've had 5 years of grinding for many championships besides. The pressure has always been there. I'm not going to forget how it feels, but there's new people that need to feel it in order to get to the next stage. And next year there's going to be twice as much people clawing for those same spots for the Olympics, for the World Indoor Championships. And then the following year, triple for the World Championships. It's going to be a bash of generations coming together. And it's not going to be felt by Mondo and I. Certainly there will be a fire lit under the even younger than Mondo generation of pole vaulters and athletes. And that's what we're going to have to learn how to facilitate. It's going to be a rough one. That's the hidden truth of the next year is there's going to be a lot of people that either move out of the sport or fight harder to stay in it. I think. I'll have to ask everybody else. I like your haircut, Helen.
Cool. We all done? Well, we do look forward to the competition. Can't wait. It's going to be tremendous. I know it is, and I'm already looking forward to this press conference next year, which is going to be hosted by Sam Kendricks. He's made obviously perfectly clear there's a new job on the horizon once the vaulting is over. So, good luck tomorrow, guys. I say it's great to see you back. It's great to see you smiling, and I know you're going to put on a great show for us. Good luck.
Hopefully the sun is shining.
Let's hope so. 22 degrees and very lovely.
Stockholm, you never know.
If you could just take your waters with you, that would be great. Thanks.
Makes sense.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
Take it easy. Next time.
See such a good friendship here. All non-face. Thanks. Good conducted.
Good mix.
They're quality, aren't they? They're good.
It's easy.
Very
You
good.
don't have to, the next one can be more to drag out.
Could be. Would you prefer me to put my mask on?
Oh, no, you're okay.
You sure? Okay.
I'll fit, don't worry.
That's fine.
Come on, smile.
Ah, smile. Oh.
Let me go and see if we can start.
We need to eat every time and we don't need a mask, so we can take some photo.
Okay, we're going to continue with our next two athletes ahead of tomorrow's BAUHAUS-galan here in Stockholm. Delighted to welcome Yuliya Levchenko and Helen Obiri. Yuliya, I'm sure you will know, 2017 World Championship silver medalist at the tender age of 20, 2019 European indoor silver medalist and world lead of 2 meters in Poland this week. Talking of world lead, a world lead in Monaco for Helen, over 5,000 meters. Helen's list of achievements is pretty numerous. 2 times the world champion at 5,000, Commonwealth and African champion, Olympic Games silver medalist, reigning world cross-country champion from Aarhus in Denmark, 14 Diamond League event wins, a 2-time Diamond League trophy winner and 5 times the national champion. It's great to see you both here in Sweden. Yuliya, if I could start with you, we mentioned that 2-meter jump in Poland. How is the form? It obviously looks to be pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it was not so easy because the 2020 is a very strange year, and but we all athletes want to save their good conditions and stay able to show the best result.
It has been such a crazy year for so many of us within the sport. As an athlete, how have you managed to stay focused, to stay motivated?
Truly, I don't think about it. I just focused on the next competition, and I think now it's the best way to prepare for something.
And returning to competition just must have felt so amazingly liberating after months and months of nothing.
Yeah, it's really interesting feelings when you come back and try to do something good, because it's very strange when you without competition about 5 or 6 months. It's really strange.
Well, it's great to have you in Stockholm. Helen, lovely to have you here too. Impressive run in Monaco. You must be pretty happy with your form as well.
Yeah, because Monaco was my first race.
It's on. Just need to get it closer to it. Yeah.
Okay, I was so happy with the result about Monaco because Monaco was my first race since January, and that means and hope I'm going to do well in the upcoming races. Yeah.
And being your first race and coming back from that back injury, I think that you had, were you expecting to be as quick?
I did plan maybe I could do that faster race because I've not been training well back home. As you understand, there's so many challenges about COVID. So actually, I was going there maybe to do something like 14:40. Actually, it was a surprise for me to do 14:22 I did. So for me, it's like this year, maybe it could be here, good, but nothing we can do. We need to focus ahead.
And same question that I asked Yulia. I mean, you know, it is strange for you to be at home in the summer months. I mean, you're normally travelling around the world. Did you find that quite a joy after so many years on the road?
You know, sometimes it's all about sports, nothing we can do. There's sometimes maybe being home, like since January, not traveling, not training. So sometimes you enjoy to be with your family, your baby, your relatives, because it's a long year. And sometimes maybe you are used to do some exercise, you can't train well, you can't meet your training mates. So sometimes it's what a bit challenging for me.
Well, you are here, and it's going to be a good event. I think there's a strong field stacked against you, gunning for you after that performance in Monaco. Let's go to the floor, Michelle.
Helen, so when we spoke in Monaco last week, you said exactly that after the race, that you were really surprised with the result. Now that you've seen how you raced in Monaco, have you set your mind to any particular times or any specific targets for tomorrow, or are you just taking it race by race?
Okay, thank you. For me, when I come to race, I said anybody can win. I don't target what I can do, but when in my best form, I hope for the best. For me, like tomorrow, I'm ready for end pace, and I'm ready maybe to do something good. It depends with the pace setters and the good weather. Yeah.
And a question for Yulia. Obviously, 2017 was such a great year, and then now, especially last year and this year, we're seeing your toughest competition actually comes from home from the Ukraine. Is that positive motivation, or is that extra pressure on you to perform?
It's a mix of the feelings, but I think it's a positive motivation for every girls because Ukrainian high jump level is very high, and it helped me to stay focused and don't be so relaxed. And I think it's helped me to improve myself and improve my jumps. So I think it's really cool.
And just a follow-up question on the back of the situation with Corona. I know that especially field event athletes were struggling a lot with lack of access to facilities and so forth. Have you worked on anything particular on top of just technique to make sure that this year you maybe worked on strength or anything like that?
Yeah, I had a little injury after winter, and so for me it's a good time to have I don't know how to say, maybe more preparation and more quality preparation for this season and next year. But now we don't know anything about next year. I'm not sure. It will be interesting. So I think I can put from it some positive things.
Yulia, could I ask, when you stepped back onto the track for the first time into competition, did it all return automatically, do you? Or did you have to stop and think and go, right, what do I do? Where do I put my key? When do I do this? When do I do that?
I think it was automatically. You just switch on your tumbler and then go. But my first competition after long pause was in Kiev, but it looks like I'm at home, and it's my stadium where I am usually training. So I'm not. It wasn't confused me or something like that. And when it was Monaco, my feelings was high level of impression.
And Helen, how about you? When you stepped onto the track, was it relief to be back, or was there a little bit of alarm about the fact that you hadn't competed for such a long time?
I think when I step in the stadium, maybe for me, it's just to focus for what I'm going to do. So you have sometimes pressure, how am I going to perform, how am I going to do it. So it's just like the moment you want to start and how you want to finish.
Nervous, were you, at all?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
For Helen, have you managed to do any speed work in training recently?
Okay, actually, I've done like 5 sessions before I come to Monaco. And for now, I've done like two more. So it's short preparations. Yeah, I don't have maybe, let me say, like speed for like last year. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you both very much indeed. Again, I think there's going to be one-on-one opportunities outside, and we'll carry on, hopefully in a few minutes, with Donavan, Brazier and Wilson Kipketer, I understand, who I don't think is announcing a return, but there's a very good reason why he's in Stockholm.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our third press conference item. Delighted to welcome Donavan Brazier and Wilson Kipketer to Stockholm. Donavan, of course, the reigning 800-meter world champion, American indoor record holder, and the Diamond League champion from 2019, a winner over 600 meters in Hungary this week, and the current recipient of the Jesse Owens Award, the highest honor awarded by US Track and Field. Wilson, great to see you. Dominant 800-meter runner, of course, for a decade. Won 3 world titles, a world indoor title, European title, as well as Olympic silver and bronze. And, of course, has great relevance to this city as the last man to break or equal a world record in the Olympic Stadium, 1:41.73 in July of 1997. Can't believe that it says here, retired in 2005. Can it really be 15 years since we saw you running around that track? I suppose it must be. Well, Donavan, welcome to Stockholm. I'm sure, like every other athlete we've had on the stage so far, you just must be delighted that the sport is back and you are running again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, very excited about that. I think, if we would have looked at it 2 months ago, I thought that we weren't going to have a season. And I think for all the Diamond Leagues to get all these meets going on, it's been just a blessing to be running fast times too.
But obviously there is, a bit of a shadow cast over the year with the fact that that Tokyo's not happening. Do you feel that you've suffered as a result of that, or do you feel that it's just a bump in the road?
I think it's just a bump in the road, especially for me. I think I'm only 23 years old now, and I look at guys that are in my main competition like Amel Tuca and Ferguson Rocic and Nigel Amos. Those guys are kind of like in their later 20s or early 30s. So I think it's a lot harder for them to hang on another year than it is for me.
The quote of your age there, I can see, has pained Wilson over on the other end of the table. It's certainly pained me as well. You must be, as a spectator now, just so delighted to be back in Sweden and ready for this guy to perform tomorrow night.
No, I think the thing is, 1997, that's 23 years ago.
That's when I was born.
And I was asking him when he was born, and I said, okay, we don't talk about that, but it feels so good to be back in anyway. It's good memories to be back in Stockholm. It feels like even my heart now is still, can I have water, please? Just wait. The thing is, to be back in Stockholm and to see Athletic again back and to see, I was in Doha when he was running. I met him in Monaco in October last year. Now he's here with me, so it's like, it's continuing. And then this moment says 23 years ago, and he's 23 years old. So I was like, okay, this is the moment. I have to get back to stadium.
Tell me about this young man. How highly do you rate him? How good do you think he can be, Wilson?
I think he can be good, but then I was sitting in the car with him and I asked him, the stadium record is only 1:41.73. And then he told me, your record's still safe. So I said, okay, so he can still go back. I said, so next year is Olympic. So we wait to see in 2023 what can happen. So I think he's still young. He still have a lot to learn. He's running well. He's strong, smart. So we will see.
We will indeed. Donavan, how has your life been since that victory in Doha? I mean, one assumes it changed quite dramatically, pretty much overnight.
Yeah, I think, especially after going from Zurich, that Diamond League final, into Doha, it was just weird because I wasn't really a world favorite at the time. I was like maybe a medal contender. So from winning the Diamond League final and going into Doha being the favorite, it was just a lot of pressure on me overall. And then, obviously I won Doha last year, but then I received awards, like you said, like the Jesse Owens Award, and I'm at these banquets, and I'm going to Monaco and seeing guys like Wilson over here, and it just kind of like humbles you knowing that there's so many great people that have gone in front of you, and you're really not like as good as you think you are because there's so many people that have been better than you before.
For sure. And how did you manage personally with the fact that you weren't racing, that you weren't training for a while, one imagines? How did that go?
It was fine. I mean, you just do what you can do. I think the only normalcy we were able to get as a group was just training every day. So we just acted as if there was going to be a season. So I think that's where it's all coming around right now, is that we're able to compete, and we're able to compete well because we just acted like it was going to be a normal season, because that was what's easiest for us, because that's just the only normalcy we'd get is just training every day. So we just treated it like a real year, and I think that's why we're getting the benefit of performing well now.
And did you have to make any radical changes to that training, bearing in mind that, you know, the major championship had been delayed for 12 months?
It was definitely hard to find motivation some days, and, you know, a lot of the places to go lift or train or get PT sessions were closed, but USATF helped us out with, like, having us get stipends for, like, weight room and stuff like that, so they were a big contributor when it came to that. But I think for the most part, we just kind of, like I said, just trained like normal just to make it seem like things were normal.
Well, it's great to see you both here. It's going to be an epic 1 minute 41 and bits, he said, hopefully. Questions from the floor? Yes, sir.
Well, Donavan, what does it feel right now, sharing a stage with Wilson?
It's an honor to share a stage with Wilson. Wilson just said really highly things about me, but he says them, and then he also, like, will go back and just, like, have a little bit of shit talking at the same time, too. So it's nice. So it definitely does keep you humble, because he's honest with what he says. So when he says things like, yeah, I think, you know, you're good, but you definitely have to work on this, you know, he's not just, like, blowing smoke. Like, he's just saying stuff that's real and things that you can work on. And you can kind of see that he wants to see you do the best you can.
Michelle.
Last year you did a lot of different kind of tactics in your races. If you compare your race from Zurich to Doha, was that a very conscious decision before each race to go into it with that mindset, or was it sometimes just how you felt on the day?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think a smart answer would be like, yeah, I was just like trying to see what kind of like what I had in the bag and see if I can run different ways. But I think it really was just kind of luck. And sometimes I got lucky and was able to find the correct positioning like later or mid in the race. But I think it was a mixture of luck and I guess a little bit of planning and went into it.
Is there a preferred style that you have?
I think I would prefer to be a front runner, like a David Rudisha or something like that, you know. But it's a lot easier said than done, and I've tried it many times. And like Wilson have noticed, I've gassed out like the last 50 meters. So I think the smartest way to run is maybe mid pack, and hopefully just watch people die and they come closer to me. But I think you know, the more noble or more honorable way to run is definitely out front.
You mentioned Rudisha there. I think a lot of people have said in the past when they see you race that actually there's a lot of similarities. Is that something that has been said to you before? Are you conscious of that?
It's definitely been said to me before, but I think that could, you know, potentially be my downfalls if I try to compare myself to a guy like that. You know, like he's the greatest of all time in 800-meter runner, in middle distance running in general. So for me just to be able to compare myself or say that I'm going to be like him, just know nonchalantly, like, you know, it's a lot harder said, or it's a lot easier said than done. But I think, you know, it is an honor to be compared to him, but then you also, what comes with that is people expect you to run like, you know, 141s or 142s all the time. And that's just not realistic at some point, you know. And I think David Rudisha even talked about when he was killing it, like from 2009 to 2016, whenever he'd show up to Diamond Leagues, everybody was anticipating him to run 141. And I mean, he delivered on that because he's David Rudisha, but it's just a very hard thing to do.
Keep going. You don't get paid by the question, just to let you know.
But you just mentioned that when you talk to someone like Wilson, and he might point out some things. Wilson, what would be the main things that, if you look at Donavan right now, that you could still improve?
No, for me, it's you know, after running and now he's a Olympic world champion, and then Olympic is coming. So this, what he motivates him to go. You know, you have to push himself now to say, so I'm where I am, where I'm going. So now the next thing is to go to Olympic, and then there's a world record, and then. So I think this, you know, the barrier is now in the level which you have really. That's what I was saying. You still have to learn a lot. You have to think about it, because now it's not just another run. You have to dominate. You know, I mean, you have to be there. People to remember you. You have to be there every day, every time, every race, and this. So for me to see him is to have that confidence, to say if I have to go in front, so he's in front. Because even for me, I started anyway in 1995 in the World Championships. I was starting from behind, and then, you know, you have to change the style. You have to be going there after the time. You have to win. So winning, you cannot win in the middle, because if someone is running slow in front, you feel comfortable. The time is not going to be what you want. So at this moment, my advice to give you is you have to know what you want to do, not what is happening in the race. you have to determine your speed.
Nice.
Cool.
So do you think it's at this level that it's more in the mind?
Because now, so I think you have shown that, the foundation, if you build the house, you have the foundation and then you're moving up. So now is to finish, You need to shine it, put the right color, people to love it. So for me, that's what I say, you have to have that confidence, because now it's not a game anymore. It's not to try the tactic. It's just to get, at this race I'm doing like this, and the next race is going to be different, next race is going to be like this. And then you get the right rhythm, so the time you have to come. So that's like Usain Bolt, when he marked the mark in 200 meters, 1919. So everybody was like, oh, it's Usain Bolt. So they need to say your name. When I was running, so they would say, so Wilson Kipketer. So people, they were thinking, it's going to be number 2, even before we start the race. So I won already. So that's the mental part. So.
That was a good question. Thank you for asking that for me.
We can provide you with a recording of this press conference.
Good questions.
No, but for me, I say so. I still have a long way because talking about my record was, I would say, 23 years ago. It's 23 years. So he still have 20 years in front of him. So we could follow him to be in stage all the time because I'm lucky to be in stage because of him. It's 800 meters. If it's not for him, I will not be here. And then, so this is another thing which is giving me also more comfortable to be around and still smile and to see people sweating and getting nervous. And, so I have time to joke.
Great. Okay.
Cool. Good.
Well, just remember the date, and in 23 years' time, you'll be sitting in that seat, and there'll be another young whippersnapper sitting there, and you can pass on your advice, having broken every record in the book. I look forward to the race tomorrow. I'm sure we all do. It's going to be great. And good luck, and lovely to see you, Wilson. And thank you, Donavan.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, final athlete performance ahead of tomorrow. Daniel Ståhl, Timothy Cheruiyot. Daniel, of course, our reigning world champion, European silver medalist, equal on the all-time list, fourth equal with 71.86, which is a Swedish national record. Winner in Sollentuna quite recently, and in Hungary with 67.31. I think undefeated this season, 13 events I think that may be. And delighted to be sitting next to the man of steel, as he is described here in Sweden. Timothy, of course, the reigning world champion from Doha 2019, has won the Diamond League 1500-meter title for the last 3 years. Ran 3:28.45, a world lead in Monaco, second fastest time of his career just a few days ago, and competed in the inaugural Maury Plant Memorial Race over 2,000 metres, the Inspiration Games against Team Ingebrigtsen. Slightly different conditions for Timothy than there were for the Ingebrigtsens, but another innovation that we've been forced to look at in this strange, crazy year. Daniel, as mentioned, unbeaten 13 events so far this season, so things must be pretty happy in the Ståhl household.
Well, training has been going well, and it's a different season, you know, like it's 50 people in the crowd cheering instead of 5,000 to 30,000 people in the bigger meets, and so it's a special year for everyone, but I'm looking forward to compete here in my hometown.
Does that affect you adversely, personally, having so few people in the stadium, or is it something you can block out and just concentrate purely on performance?
Well, like I said, it's different for everyone, but I'm just going for it anyways. I'm planning a little bit different compared to the last seasons, and the Olympics was postponed, and so it's kind of a strange year, but we're aiming for throwing really far and just going for it. And I have 5 more meets, and then I'm gonna start to train and prepare for Olympics.
Have you felt disheartened that the fact that you have to wait another 12 months before you get to Tokyo? Because obviously you were just so in such great form. Is it something you feel you can continue along that path for another 12 months before you get to the games themselves?
Well, I just planned, differently this year because I got to know it's going to be postponed, and it's for everyone. And my goal is to throw really far this year.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Timothy, welcome to Stockholm, welcome to Sweden. I mentioned that race in Monaco and that very fast time. So you two, like Daniel, are in pretty good form, correct?
Yeah, thank you very much. Monaco was good, and when I'm there, I'm always running the fastest time, and I was planning to run well there, and unfortunately I ran second fastest in my career. So it was good. It was good to be there.
Good. Were you expecting to run so quickly in Monaco?
Yeah, I was expecting to run under 3:28, 3:27. So, but the first lap was so fast, so I tried to maintain the pace, and I came over the run 3:28.
And what can we look forward to tomorrow? Are you in the mood to go perhaps a smidgen quicker?
Yeah, I was thinking, because I've been testing myself almost 2 times now. I did my last year in Lausanne. I ran the first 800 meters, 1:49. So, and in Monaco I ran 52 first lap. So I'm capable to run faster. So I hope to run coast record tomorrow.
Well, look forward to it very much. Yeah. Questions from the floor? Michelle.
So when you go into a race like the one in Monaco, you have a 52 first lap. How do you, towards the end, still maintain that power that you always show, that even when you have a Jakob on your shoulder, that you somewhere find that second gear?
I've been testing myself in training. with my coach. So I've been doing 50 in 400 meters, and sometime in 800 we test 114, 148, 149. So I have endurance and speed. Yeah.
Are you going to step down anytime soon? Or like an 800 is fun?
I need to run more years than 1500 meters. Yeah.
Indeed.
Daniel, last year, at the end of the year, you were talking about how much positive feedback you had from back home on the back of your victory in Doha, and how in school suddenly kids wanted to throw the discus rather than run around. Is that also part of why you make sure that you are competing consistently throughout this year to maintain that positive inspiration for younger kids?
Not only for the kids, it's for myself and for the whole country. And you know, I'm feeling in such a great shape, and I want to throw really far. And instead of just lay on the sofa and just do nothing because of this COVID-19, you can actually go out and train and focus on it and throw far. And Sweden has been flexible with the virus, you know. Of course, it's hard in the whole world, tough situation, but the gyms have been open, the throwing fields and everything. So I've just been going for it and trying to do my best.
As you have progressed, have you felt the pressure perhaps on you getting more and more because Sweden expects every time you turn out to compete?
Well, I just focus on myself and with my coach, and then everybody else can talk. And you know, and of course I'm trying to do my best. And yeah, it's going to be showtime tomorrow.
I hope so. What can we look forward to?
Well, you see a happy guy that's enjoying the field and having fun.
Another new national record, perhaps? Are you in that kind of shape?
You never know. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe next week, or maybe 2 weeks. You never know.
Well, I'm not going to be there next week, so let's hope it's tomorrow.
Of course.
Any others? Yes, please.
More for Timothy. What has it been like for you being at home back in Kenya for so long during the summer? Because normally you don't really get to experience that. I've seen you busy out with the farm and everything.
Come again?
How has it been like for you being back home in Kenya for that long?
It was good. Perhaps it was sometime bad because I stay at home for 3 months. It never happened that almost. Usually we are going for only off season for 1 month. So I go home and I was doing some farming with my family, having fun with our friends. So it was good time for me to be back at home.
Great. All done? Well, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. I think there's going to be one-on-one opportunities out the back there. But thank you for appearing. Very best of luck tomorrow on the track and in the circle, and we look forward to it very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.